We are live. We think we're live. We hope we're live. We hope we're here.
Hello,
We are
friends. Welcome back to Testing Normal. Hope life is well. Hope
Yeah.
everything is fresh and so clean.
Yeah.
How
This
you
is a
been, Jordan?
This is a podcast where we talk about anything and everything. My name is Jordan.
And my name is Curtis. I was thinking about that. I was actually just thinking about that, Jordan. I was like, you know what? We're at episode 64.
Yep.
I think now we can just say, hey guys, welcome back to Testing Normal. I think that we've earned that privilege. I feel like now, don't you think?
Because the voice, like people could be joining us new.
That's true.
And just know that they need to know who we are.
Yeah. Well, we tested it. We'll see. We'll see if we test the normal of what we do.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll just go with I'm right, and
we'll just have to agree to disagree that we both agree that we disagree.
No, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Exactly.
Right,
you totally got it. Totally got it.
So, what's been going on new? I feel like there's really like nothing that's been happening in this world lately.
It's been kind of dead. Like not a lot's going on.
Jordan, I was thinking, so that picture that I sent you earlier this week,
Yeah.
with the perfect example of what's going on in 2020.
Oh my gosh.
You should see if you can pull that up.
I'm not gonna pull that up on here.
Yes!
No.
It's a perfect illustration of what's going on in 2020. It is a perfect illustration.
What's funny is I saw it again last night when I went to text you, and for those of you that don't know, it's some guy gets his sack stuck in his zipper as he zips up.
Yeah.
And
so it's like
I showed it to Haley, and she goes, "Is that possible?" I was like, "You have to be extremely committed to zipping, and very quick to get that far into it."
It is possible. It is very possible.
Like most guys would be lying if they didn't say that they had pinched themselves in that way.
Yeah. Right. I've drawn blood.
To get that far though?
Yeah, I've drawn blood, but I've not caused like a centimeter or an inch worth of tissue to get caught. Yeah. To get caught over the zipper, right?
Right. Yeah.
Which is
that was
an
impressive.
overwhelming. Yeah.
I don't understand whoever did that. Props to you. You have way more commitment in that area than I do to getting pants zipped up. But to be honest, like I can count on one hand how many times I've put on pants that have a zipper since this whole like pandemic sent me home and whatever. Because if I can
sweatpants, man, huh?
If I can work in like workout pants or shorts or something like that, like let's be real, like who gets that chance all the time? Not a lot of people. So I'm just gonna take it.
Yeah, but I feel like when you went to work, you still every now and then would wear those like when you wear every now and then like those like what are they called? Not like the pants that are like sweatpants but not sweatpants, but like joggers. Did you wear those to work?
No.
No,
I couldn't. Nope.
Couldn't get away with that.
Nope.
Wouldn't fly.
So yeah, I haven't had a chance to mess up and zip wrong for quite some time.
Yeah,
I did the other night because we went out to dinner for the first time, so that's something that did happen.
Where'd you go?
We went to Basil and Board in Salem.
Okay.
And for those of you who are in this area, you should check it out. It's pretty cool. Right now you have to get reservations to go in and sit down, but they are like following all the rules and all that kind of stuff, and it's really good. And even
did you take the whole? Did you take the whole family, or did you just go?
No, it was for like my sister's husband's birthday. So David, who was on the podcast, it was his birthday.
Oh, cool, nice.
So yeah, it was a good time, and we got
Basil and Board.
Basil and Board. It's mostly it's like wood-fired pizzas and like some other like pastas and stuff like that. But they have a ton of like vegan options. They have a ton of like low-carb options if you wanted. They have even like pizzas like kits you can go in and get and like cook at home.
Awesome.
Super chill atmosphere. They have we were gonna go to the upstairs seating on the roof, but it rained, so they put us inside. Yeah. So that was sad. But it's
where in Salem is it?
It's like it's downtown, and like it's like south of downtown a little bit.
Okay.
But right downtown. Like when you get out of it, it's like a one-way street that comes back into town.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, people should look it up and check them out.
In 2020, obviously today we're just doing a review of some of the crazy stuff that we heard about this past week, and kind of going to go over some of that stuff. But obviously, there's a wealth of stuff to talk about with 2020 so far.
Yeah.
But tell me real quick here. I was hearing something about this Apple Store looters. They were getting messages from Apple, or what was it
Yeah,
exactly going
so
on?
so with everything that's going on, like the whole discussion we had last week, we probably don't want to delve a whole lot into that, but like the riots and everything and that have been going on, there have been people that are looting too, which are typically not the people that are tied to this movement. They're just kind of they're giving them a bad name. Well, some of them have broken into Apple stores and taken equipment. Well, the problem with that is they're stealing equipment that has a GPS identifier, and all the phones have unique identifiers. So they get
Oh
these
my gosh.
devices home, and the devices are now getting messages that say, "Please return to such and such an Apple store," like where they came from. Like basically, like, "Hey, we know where you're at. Please return them."
Whoa.
So they're
That's
popping up on devices.
great.
Like I saw screenshots of it, and I think it was a website I hadn't heard of before. It was like something Mac or something like that. But they had pictures up. We'll have a link for it. But yeah, pretty wild. Like I don't know why people don't think about that. I guess they're looters to begin with, so they're probably not, the most wise and thinking ahead. But what from what I've heard is like these marches or whatever, most of them are peaceful, but there's like people in the center that are kind of being wild,
Oh,
and then
okay. So,
and then at the
yeah,
back, people are like breaking in and looting behind them and then leaving with this stuff.
right. So
And
this is
so,
what one of the phones say. This guy said Apple disabled phone that was looted, and he
mhm.
posted a picture of it. And on the phone it says please return to Apple Walnut Street.
Yeah,
This device has been disabled and is being traced. Local authorities will be alerted.
right.
Like,
Yeah, I'll
oh,
pop a picture up of that. It's
that's kind of that's nifty.
yeah,
That's nifty. I like that. Well, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you have the technology that basically geo tracks everything where it's at all times, and yeah, it's a perfectly reasonable thing to try to, get back, I guess.
right. Yeah, oh, here it is. If
Yeah,
you look
that's
and
cool.
see the
But also, it's kind of interesting. Like the
kind of
cops have
wild.
a lot. The cops have a lot going on right now, so I feel like their last thing that they're willing to risk right now is to go take an iPhone from somebody.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like that's not really the risk versus reward that they're willing to take right now.
right.
I could be wrong with that, but I imagine. Basically, you're going to start seeing like private business security going out and getting their stuff back, probably.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's interesting is like a lot of stuff now is geotag. So just keep that in mind, people. If you're gonna decide to go out looting, a lot of stuff is geotagged or locked down. Most Apple equipment is completely useless unless you can fake someone into thinking that you have a legitimate Apple device. Um, and as we've seen, the FBI can't even break into those. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting.
Or just take them back, because clearly Apple will press charges. So, and they
Yeah.
should.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Dude, so what'd you I was hearing about what Terry Crews said this week.
Yeah, I actually had to go look this up because I'd seen it and I was like, man, I was like, like where am I at? Like how do I feel? And it's kind of a risky thing to say, but like this whole
Well, it's not really.
situation's
I feel like actually what he said kind of reinforces what we were saying last week.
no, yeah, I don't think it's risky for I guess for I feel a little bit of fear sharing my opinion about how I feel about the situation. Just because there's been so many people that have either been deplatformed or silenced or just made out to be morons and lost their jobs. Though, granted, they've done some pretty horrifically dumb things. But what Terry Crews had said, and he got some flack for this, was, and I love this quote because it made me think. Because I would say that like a few years ago, I would have been some of the people that would have been like, well, why are we saying Black Lives Matters? All lives matter. And I don't mean anything bad by that. I just mean I would include everybody in the group of being just as important and valuable. And so, but a lot of people that are saying it, that's not the heart behind it. At least it doesn't appear to be it. Um, but he said that defeating white supremacy without white people creates black supremacy. Equality is the truth, and it's true. I hadn't thought about that. Like, why are we asked to stand up? Why are we asked to say something? Um, and it makes sense that if a people group is not going to be treated right and they rise up and do it, they may just create the pendulum swing and opposite of what we have now.
Well, I kind of see that from a different angle, I guess, when I see that, when I read that quote. I see it more from the perspective of, like we addressed last week a little bit along the lines, like you can't defeat white supremacy, or you can't defeat um, racism
Hmm.
if both or all groups are not
Yes.
included in the problem
Yeah,
and
and
the solution,
that's exactly, yeah, that's
right?
what
And
I meant.
so it's you gotta, everybody has to be included in the conversation, and everybody has to work through it together. You can't just ignore one person, one race, when both races are involved. So you have to have
Right.
everybody working together,
And
and I
he's
think that's
taking
what
it a step further, saying if you don't,
it'll
then
swing one way or the other.
it's going to create a problem, and he doesn't want that. Like he's already
Yeah.
saying like I don't want this, and that totally respectable. And I love this guy. Like if you guys want to like read some cool stuff, I think he was in Tools of the Titans, which is what's his face, the guy that did a podcast with Jocko Willington, um, who wrote the 4 Hour Body. I can't think of his name now. Why can I not think of his name? Um, anyway, he had written to like hundreds of different people who were successful, and he was one of them, and he has a couple of pages in there, and his was like one of the more like compelling to read, like
So
really
for everybody that
cool,
doesn't
wise
know,
things.
that's listening, Terry Crews. Terry
Tim
Crews is the
Tim
guy
Ferriss.
that was
Tim Ferriss is the one that wrote the
Tim
Four
Ferriss.
Hour Body, and he wrote Tools of the Titans, and Terry Crews is one of the people he interviewed in there.
Terry Crews is the guy that was like, he was the Old Spice guy, the big buff dude on Old Spice
He's on
advertising.
Brooklyn
But then he was
Nine-Nine.
also Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then American's Got Talent. He's like
Yeah,
the anchor, I guess, or I don't know what it would be
he's
called.
the
The
host.
host,
Yeah,
the
the
host,
host.
the hostess, the hostess for the mostest.
The hostess for the
Um,
mostest. Yeah.
yeah, so interesting. I mean, that's just a little touch. I don't think we went a lot into last week talking about, you know,
It just made me
the
think
subject,
further.
but
I was like,
it's
oh,
an interesting
it's a good
comment.
perspective to think about. Like, we're all needed in this,
Totally.
whatever skin color we don.
Yeah, everybody needs to be in the conversation for sure.
Right.
Um, Speaking of being in the conversation,
Yes.
I've been having a lot of conversations with my esposa,
Yes.
talking a little bit. I definitely want to get an EV at some point.
Yeah.
I want to get an electric vehicle. Okay.
Yeah.
And I've been talking about, should I put down payment down for different so like Tesla trucks coming out, right?
Hmm.
Cybertruck in next year, hopefully, potentially. Um, but
Would you get the
uh,
ATV too?
I don't know if it's actually coming out.
It
I don't know.
is. It's going to be an option to come with the truck. It has a charger
Okay,
in the
because there's
truck.
no option for it right now. At
No,
least,
there's
like,
not.
you can't like
They've said it's
select it
going
right
to
now.
be. Yeah. It's just like you
Yeah.
can't go select the seven seating option for the model or for the Model Y.
Right. Right. Yeah. Totally. Um. Yeah.
But they've said
But
like the options for it are going to come out because one of the options is going to be that canopy that comes down in the back can be a solar panel and can charge the battery in the truck and it will give you 30 minutes of
right.
runtime per day in the sun.
Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yeah.
But what is the whole Lucid Air thing? What is that all about with
So
Tesla? I heard about
so
this, but I don't really know
yeah,
what it's
so
about.
Lucid Air is another company that's designing an EV and it is not out yet. So these numbers that I will share with you very loosely because you could go read the article um, is basically just the math into the car. So raw horsepower to weight with this car. It's a three motor car, which Tesla's cars so far, the Model S that or the Roadster that's going to have three motors has not come out yet. But there's
Cybertruck will have 3 as well,
the Cybertruck has
potentially.
a three motor
You
model
have an
as
option.
well. Yeah, you have an option for the dual or the triple motor and or single motor, but that one's pushed back to like 2022. Um, and but this car with the battery tech and the motors that are in it and the weight that they've gotten it down to, doing the math with other EVs that are out there, it could potentially, like if the tires survived it,
Oh.
do 1.250 to 60, which would beat the numbers that Tesla's throwing around by about a second. Now, real world numbers they're saying would probably be around 1.7. Um, because you just run into issues of, are these tires just going to fall apart? Because
That's madness. That's
it's an
madness.
insane amount of
That's
torque
madness that
immediately.
that aerodynamic could even
Hmm.
allow that too.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
0 to 60 in
yeah.
1.5
That's the
seconds.
math. So like, that's
1.25.
not real world example. Like, you got temperature, all that kind of stuff that goes into play. But
Right.
um, that's the power that's
Jeez.
sitting there. So like, I think the Model S, and I might be off by a little bit, is around like 1,000 horsepower with the triple motor. This one is 1,800 horsepower by the book, by the numbers that are in there right now.
That's awesome.
So
That's super cool.
it's like a little over 2 pounds per horsepower.
So here's the thing that I have to give major props to. I mean, that'll be amazing if that actually comes to production.
Right.
Um, but the thing that I have to give props to, I was watching this video about Tesla trucks, about the Cybertruck that's coming out, and it was discussing the surprising amount of profitability that the
Yeah.
Cybertruck
Yeah,
will
you were
have.
trying to tell me about this before we came on here. Now I want to hear about
Yeah.
it.
So they were comparing the production costs of the Cybertruck to the F-150, and they were saying, like, the production cost to have a factory that produces from scratch to the finished product that's painted. For F-150 models, it's a when you look at everything, like the
Right.
all the different parts and pieces, everything comes together to have them to the startup to have that factory going was like $650 million or something like that. And then the total cost to have after everything was broken down, like from the sheet or from the steel to the different types of automation within to put everything together, the paint, everything for Tesla trucks, Cybertrucks, they
Right.
estimated it was about 125 million. So
Whoa.
the company Tesla has found a way to, like, with the Cybertruck in particular, make it incredibly affordable for them to make it,
Hmm.
and then therefore bring more profit to their company, but not only their company, make their more affordable EVs. So, like, the part of the reason the Cybertruck is looking so affordable, one is to produce is the metal that they use, the steel, the
Right.
reinforced steel. It is the exoskeleton of the vehicle. Like, it doesn't have
Right.
all this extra fluff underneath it.
Right.
Um, and then it's only like 10 cuts or something like that, like very
That's
basic plain.
crazy.
And I'm not sure if it's 10, but it's very limited amount of cuts.
Right.
And then um, the the way that everything is going to
That's
be,
just that's
the amount of
crazy.
parts are there's so many less parts on the vehicle compared to an F-150 that it's just like astronomically cheaper to produce and to provide and then sell. So that's why,
Right.
like, F-150, there was rumors that the electric F-150 was going to be like 80,000, 90,000 or something like that. Whereas, the low end Cybertruck I think was 39.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, incredibly less expensive than a normal truck.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's no like, there's no full sized pickups that you can get brand new on the market. Full size, like, I mean, you can get maybe Chevy Colorado, I think, for maybe 39 right now. But new off the dealership, it's rare to get a full size pickup for that price.
Right. Yeah, I know like 70 grand.
Yeah. Now the don't the downside to the Tesla truck, and I haven't really fiddled with it obviously, but there's so many cool things to it. But the bed size does seem a little small to me. The pickup bed size.
Yeah, it is. It's because you have the full size like cargo area or passenger area.
Yeah, right. You have the full size passenger, so it'd be like, almost. I wonder if it would be better to not have that and just have a bigger bed size,
Yeah.
or have that option at least.
Yeah, to have a long bed, but then you run into production costs to make a more dies and all that kind of stuff. They're building one truck to do this one thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's funny how when they first presented that pickup, I was like, oh, it's the ugliest freaking thing in the world. But
I
now
know,
it's
but
kind
it's
of
kind of
grown on.
like it's grown on a lot of people. That's what's
Yeah.
funny.
They're just setting the stage, man. Oh man. Okay, so but what's crazy during this whole COVID time, I'm sure you read about it. I've read about it several times. Everybody keeps breaking the whole Cannonball Run time, driving their cars from
Yeah.
East Coast to West
So
Coast.
this one's alleged, and it's one that my dad sent me. Um, and
I like that your dad sends you stuff. That's funny.
yeah, it is. I love it too. Um, so they didn't beat it by much. You can see the numbers in there. I think you have the link too.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up
Um,
here. Ooh. Okay. So an Audi 8
yep.
completed the Cannonball Run. Let's see. From New York to LA in 26 hours and 38 minutes.
Right.
What?
So that's the new record. The previous record, well, it's the new alleged record. Nobody's double checked it. Um, the new one or the old one was 27 hours 25 minutes.
Okay, let me think about that. Let me think. So when I drive from here I can drive straight from here to Missouri, and it would take me like I think 36 hours or something like
Yeah.
that.
So the average speed is like somewhere between 103 and 108 miles an hour that these people would have to be going.
Golly.
And what's crazy is like I don't they show some pictures here. I'll pop it up here on the full screen. Um, is they have you can see here's their time that they're saying it took them, but you can see also like this is like added gas tanks in the trunk.
Golly. That's awesome.
Yeah, pretty
That's
wild.
madness. That's
And it's
madness.
just because there's less traffic on the road apparently, um, and they're kind of exploiting the
I wonder
rest of
how
us
many
staying
times
home.
I wonder how many times with all those extra gas tanks in the back they had to stop and get gas.
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine at least still at least a couple.
Yeah, probably. The average speed 103 miles per hour. That's crazy. That'd
Yeah,
be fun. That'd be a hard. You mean you'd be stuck in a
dude,
car for 26 hours, 27 hours at least.
that's just a
You know,
day. I
just a
mean,
day.
it's not that long, not that bad. On the whole, like so they did it with electric or they did it with gas, but on the whole electric thing, did you hear what Germany's doing? Is they have the stimulus packages going through and they're requiring that
Love that.
gas stations, in order to continue to operate, is what it sounds like, they will have to start putting in charging stations at gas
Yeah. Or
stations.
I think it was maybe if there are any new gas stations. I think. Let me see. Um, yeah, that is a fantastic idea because that will actually help to encourage people to use electric
Yeah,
vehicles. But I'm wondering if how that would work. Like, because would it be universal charging though? I'm not sure how that would
a
work.
lot of them are. They have plug adapters, or when you get your car, you can opt to get plug adapters that work with different things.
Mm-hmm.
So those are they're there.
Hmm.
So
That's really
I
cool.
like the idea. I think it's high time that we start looking
Totally.
at types of things like that and incentivizing people to move over
Totally.
um, to doing that. Um, I know that a lot of people are not like they're not in favor of like like they would label it as like cap and trade type bills or the same things that do that. But I think it's we just need to start moving that way, and it seems like nobody is.
Well, I mean, compared to 10 years ago, there's way more EVs on the road now, right?
Very
It's
true.
just not
But
moving
even
super
Germany, with all the
fast.
incentives and everything, they said that it's all purchases, it was 1 to 2% were EVs in the last few years.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's, and that's their
Hmm.
numbers. I don't know what ours are. But that's really low. It-
Yeah, but I don't know if Europe is making many affordable EVs. I feel like I don't hear many European affordable EV cars. Whenever I hear of a European EV car, it's like, Audi or BMW, and they're like super pricey, high end, almost concept cars from them.
yeah. Hmm.
Like Asia, I hear about some in here, but I don't know.
Right.
Interesting.
Crazy.
So, um, the World Health Organization said some interesting stuff
Yeah, tell me
recently.
about this because I don't know a lot. I just know that they've spoken up. Like the short bit of it is that they've said that asymptomatic people rarely spread COVID.
Yeah. So,
And I'm sure that you've read into this a lot more than I have. I've seen some headlines. That's the extent of my knowledge.
I mean, they didn't really. So World Health Organization, yes, they did say asymptomatic individuals are far less likely to spread the coronavirus, and I mean that makes sense because if, if you're infected, eventually you're going to develop symptoms, and then you're
Mhm.
more likely to spread the disease for certain at that time.
Right.
Um, so that makes sense, and I do believe from what I have experienced and seen that people are less likely if they're asymptomatic to spread the infection. Um,
Right.
but the frustrating thing for me is in general, I have a hard time with the World Health Organization just in general right now.
Yeah.
Like I
I
feel
think a
like
lot of people do.
yeah, they've just done so many sketchy things with the way that they have underreported, I believe, certain infections
Hmm.
in Asia. But then they they are very like politically motivated, and so I just don't trust a lot of what WHO says. I mean, I don't
Do
really.
you think that they're what they're saying is being um I don't want to say like doctored or changed by countries like China?
Ooh, I don't think that they would. I think the World Health Organization would not post something if it had a negative light towards China, is what I
Okay.
would say.
Well,
They
and a
would
lot of companies have
because they're one of
shown to
their
do that. So,
yeah, they're one of their major funders. Like China gives the World Health Organization outside of what the US used to do, China basically payrolled the World Health Organization
hmm,
in addition to the United States, which was one of the larger contributors before Trump decided he said we're not going to pay them anymore.
right.
Um, so that's difficult when I've seen China influence the decisions World Health Organization has made.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
but and then
that's
but
difficult.
I do believe that it is true that the infection rate is much higher in symptomatic individuals for sure.
Yeah. It would make sense.
It makes sense. Yeah, definitely.
It's the same as,
Anything,
a lot of other
any
things.
type of
Yeah.
infectious disease, right?
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that's what I have to think about that because honestly, they didn't. I didn't. I feel like they had some studies that, but I would want more data before I speak absolute on
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not asking you to like be the ruling voice on that at all. But
that.
yeah. So you did you read about this like since we're on the subject, did you read about this whole like Maya discovery or Mayan discovery?
No, I saw a headline about it, but I don't
So
know if it's that big of a deal, is it?
I mean to me the technology for finding it is a big deal. I think that it's a
Okay.
big deal to know about the history of it and stuff. But if you
Okay.
look at it like so I was doing a little bit of reading on it. It's like nearly double the amount of resources to build this like basically like stage structure that's like 15 meters tall than their pyramids. Like it's a
Wait,
like
what's that mean?
the amount of materials to make it is like double that of the Mayan pyramids.
Whoa.
Right. So that's like this massive structure that is just flat, like that they would have used for events or something. They're just like kind of like this is what it is. And I saw too, like in that vein, like they've used the same technology to point into um like areas around Rome and find other
Yeah,
structures and stuff without having to dig up and map out.
that's so
So
cool.
yeah, this
Yeah,
and it's
I would like to go there at some point. I'd like to make a little trip down South America, visit some more Mayan ruins. It'd be an
yeah,
interesting
most of the
journey.
people are pretty happy with us there. So it probably wouldn't be a risk.
Hey,
Um,
wait, in South America, are they mad at us?
I don't know. I'm just So the platform is roughly 1.4 kilometers long and 400 meters wide and 10 to 15 meters high. And the radiocarbon dating of charcoal samples from the platform, they put it between 1000 and 800 BC, which makes it the
Whoa,
oldest known
really?
ancient Mayan ceremonial structure. Yeah.
Oh, 1800 BC. Okay.
No, 1000 to 800 BC. Sometime somewhere between that time frame.
Oh no, but I'm seeing here. Wait.
Maybe the other structures are dated to that. This is dated between
Okay.
1000 and 800. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so
Interesting.
it's estimated the platform took 3.2 million to 4.3 million cubic meters of material to create. And so in contrast, the La Danta pyramid required about 2.8 million. So it's not double, but it's more, or it could be close to double of the amount of material to make it.
Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Um,
super wild.
hold on a second. I gotta check something. Hold on a second. I'm gonna
Okay.
take a pause. I'm gonna let you cover for me for a second.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pop up a picture of this structure. Um, look at this. So it's just like this flat kind of wall almost, and you can see. I don't know. It's just fascinating to see like the different things that would have connected to this. It's just super wild. I don't know what this is. Some sort of structure, some other thing that they found there. But the science that goes into making this work is just baffling. So
Okay, I'm
crazy.
back. Boom.
Your kids just wanted to say goodnight.
Yeah, I like turned around and I saw my chitlins creeping up on me. I'm
I
like,
thought you had a
what are
lock.
you guys doing? No, I never bought a door handle with a lock. I need to though. I need to get
I
it.
thought when you worked up there, you had to have it locked.
I put like when I was working, I would put something in front of the door so like it would,
Rattle.
yeah, it would bonk it
Nice.
or whatever.
Nice.
Um, okay, so yeah. Speaking of though, I do want to go to Machu Picchu at some point. I know it's not the same exact thing,
No,
but
it's really close though.
super close. That sounds like a crazy adventure. I would love to do it. Okay, so the last thing I wanted to hit on as far as like topics go,
Yeah.
uh, this was really cool. I like this. Oregon was making a petition, and
Yeah.
I, I know in some cities, in
So
some
a
counties,
petition to what? Because everyone else doesn't know. So Oregon's making there's a
yeah,
petition to make police officer misconduct and investigation records public record.
hmm
I
which is
On the surface, I would agree with this. I'm sure that there's some there's some things that people be like, wait, what about this? And I'd be like, okay, wait, maybe I'm like not all the way there.
well,
But
it makes a lot of sense because I mean, why on earth would it not? Why on earth would it be accessible for some like professions, but not for a profession where you're in the position to take
so
people's
I
lives?
guess where I would ask is, what profession, if it's just under investigation, is it public record until it's like found to be an issue?
Um,
Most places wouldn't announce it until
so
they've gone through and because I do agree with
well, it's not
innocent
just
until proven
investigation though.
guilty.
This isn't just investigation. This is misconduct. So
Yeah,
if they've been proven of misconduct as
but it's
well,
also saying investigation records. So I guess if
I think yeah.
if someone
I think
has
a lot in the
investigations for
medical,
them,
yeah,
although maybe someone's just being targeted too, and that they're not a bad person. So
yeah,
that's where it would kind of suck.
yeah. I think if it's an open investigation, I don't think it makes sense to have it posted maybe until
Yeah,
it's proven whether or not,
yeah.
unless it's a
So
situation
maybe
where
once it's resolved,
yeah,
it's public record.
unless it's a situation where it's like
Very
there's
public
this
already.
is yeah, or where there's corruption. This is where I feel like it might be good to have it when it is under investigation because if there is a corrupt kind of police state or
Mhm.
group that are
Right.
taking place and there's like a chronic recurring investigation taking place but it never leads to any type of conviction or any type of
True.
penalization, then it's like this guy's been under investigation 16 times but he never once was actually
Yeah.
you
I
know
would agree. I would say the the public would do what they're doing now, but they shouldn't have to do what they're doing now to make people look into things. Like it shouldn't have taken this amount of people with an uproar to get these convictions.
right
I
right
mean,
because they wouldn't
it's good that it
they wouldn't have
has,
happened.
But
But it's interesting. It seems like, we don't know this, but it seems like they might not have actually had any type of conviction if there wasn't some type of public outrage.
right, and we don't know. That's just kind of a what if game. But
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
crazy. All right,
Okay.
dude. If there's nothing else, I don't see anything
No,
else there that
that's
I'm
it,
like
man.
super tied to.
I'm gonna throw some TILs your way.
Yeah, do it.
Today's I learned. Today I learned that, and I read this, but I don't know if this is absolute, but it made it sound like it was. Today I learned that landmines blow up as soon as they're stepped on. They don't wait for the person to get off, as
Like the movies,
like we see
like
in
the movies
movies or
say.
TV.
So
Like
I'm
when you
gonna,
step on it, that acts in.
yeah, I'm gonna admit something
Yeah.
and tell you that I sort of broke a rule, and I saw that, and I
Oh,
decided to go and start looking for landmines to prove you wrong. I
okay.
couldn't find any, and maybe there are some, but in my short amount, like I
Woo!
couldn't find any that didn't. There are some, if they don't explode, they're considered like a, an unexploded ordnance, and it's even more scary. Um, but I couldn't find any that did it like the pressure sensitive. Like they're pressure sensitive, but they go off when they go in.
Right.
And it makes sense, But
Yeah, it
hey,
makes sense. It's
it doesn't
super
make a good
interesting.
movie to be like
Because
do 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 do
every
do
movie,
wham.
every movie is a landmine you
Yeah,
step on, and only when you decompress it is when it
yeah.
blows up.
Well,
Every movie.
everyone knows that's how you get away from a landmine. Is just step away
Because that's how a
slowly.
grenade works, though, right? Like you compress it, and then it's when
No,
you,
you don't
yeah,
compress it. Okay, I've thrown
you
grenades,
you pull
so
the handle though, don't you? Don't you
no.
hold the handle down
The
when you pull the
pin,
clip?
all the pin does is lets the spoon pop off.
Oh, it's already
So
compressed.
there's a plunger on top of the grenade that when
Yeah,
it pops out, it arms it, and you've got 3 to 5 seconds. It's
but isn't
usually
there a
closer to
handle
five.
that keeps it compressed while you're holding it?
It's called the spoon, and it wraps around, and the pin
Yeah,
is what lets that pop off. When you throw a grenade, so if you
but
don't,
you're holding the spoon,
you're
right?
holding the spoon in your hand like this,
Yeah,
and when you throw it, the spoon comes off,
yeah,
and it pops that up.
yeah. So that's what I was saying. It's already compressed, and
Yes,
it's not compressed. That's when it goes off.
true. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that the trigger works that way. So
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's exactly what I said. Okay,
yeah,
your first
totally,
TIL.
totally exactly what you said. Yeah.
It is. What do you got?
We'll just agree to agree to
No,
not
that
agree.
was I was definitely right on that one.
No, you weren't. Okay,
Yeah,
so today I learned that since 2015, Sesame Street has been funded by HBO due to PBS funding issues.
whoa, that's crazy.
They have exclusive access to brand new Sesame Street stuff, and it will be on HBO Max.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, since
That's
2015. But they still are on OPB,
so
but HBO
does
gets them
but
first.
HBO pays for it?
Hmm.
Whoa,
Yep.
that's crazy. Okay, so today I learned there's a method for growing rhubarb known as forcing. And this is where the plant grows in complete darkness and is tended to only by candlelight. And it grows so quickly by this method that you actually can hear it growing.
We have to try this.
Isn't that fascinating?
We have to try this.
Who would have thought rhubarb?
So, could you use this in like like the bamboo torture where they like hang the guys over and the bamboo grows through
I know, maybe,
them?
maybe.
That's a horrible analogy slash question, but it's real life. Okay, today I learned humans have developed injections containing nanoparticles, which, when administered into the eye, convert infrared into visible light, giving night vision for up to 10 weeks.
That's amazing.
I know.
So, but when it's daytime,
Yeah, I don't
doesn't
know.
everything look
You're screwed.
super bright and
I don't think
distorted?
so because there's infrared from the moon and from the sun. The sun gives off infrared, so I think it would just be a lot brighter.
Whoa, I would love to try that.
I know. My question is, what are the repercussions of this?
I know. I already have bad dry eyes, so I wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think it's
Ugh.
probably the greatest of ideas, but
All right, shower thoughts. Or do you got any more TILs?
no, that's my last
Okay.
TIL.
All right, shower thoughts. Essential oils are ironically one of the most unnecessary products to buy.
It's true.
They're one of the least essential products to buy.
Yeah. Not calling fries and ketchup tomatoes and potatoes is a missed opportunity.
Very true. Very true. If you have 12 followers on social media platform, you're unpopular. But if you have 12 followers in real life, you're the messiah.
It's true. It's true. Oh, of all the ways the human body can expel fluid, bleeding is the one that is most acceptable to do on a sidewalk.
Ooh, I guess so. Right. I guess, yeah. Yeah, spitting. People spit on the sidewalk. It's not that bad.
Right.
But yeah, people aren't going to give you a hard time if you're bleeding because it's like, oh, they want to help you. Yeah, that's true.
Or
Interesting.
peeing. Or
Well, yeah,
explosive
you can't
diarrhea.
get away with it. Oof. Yeah, snot rockets. People don't like that too much on
I
the
did
sidewalk.
I did see one I did see it that I didn't include in here and it's totally not even my notes at all, but it was just like if you had explosive diarrhea in space, you could use it to propel yourself.
Oh, and actually, it would turn out to be like explosive ice crystals or
I don't know if it would freeze that
explosive
quick.
frozen. I bet it would. The
It's
water would
not
freeze like
but it's not
super
cold,
quick.
it's just a lack of heat. It's
Right.
weird. Like I've heard Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about it. Like he's like,
Well,
it's not like
It
the
depends if the
movies
sun's on
depict.
it or not. If the sun's
Um,
not on you, then it's cold.
right, yeah.
Okay,
But
so
it's not cold. It's like it's weird. It's a lack of warm. It's
which
because it just
basically
goes everywhere.
would make it cold.
All temperature gets absorbed.
So you can remove any letter from the word pear, and it would still be an existing word.
Oh, that's a good one.
Any letter from the word pear. Pear.
Yeah.
Take the E away, par. Take the R away, P. Take the P away, ear. Take the A away, per.
Per. Is that a word? Per?
Yeah, like per capita.
I guess. I always thought that was like a filler word. Like it's not good on its own.
No, I think it is because like per capita is not one word.
True. That's true. The scariest part about explosives isn't when they go off. It's when they don't go off.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like when we were launching those Estes rockets,
Oh my gosh.
we should have posted one of these videos of it,
Oh,
but we didn't know
horrifying.
why it wasn't
When
launching,
they
and then we
wouldn't
had to
go
like
off and you're sitting there like,
sneak up close to it.
I
Like, is it gonna go
gotta,
off on us? Is
am
it
I
gonna
gonna
go
get
off
a
on us?
rocket in my nose?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, last shower thought I have.
Okay.
Corporations could have used the amount spent in paying for commercials, thanking essential workers by giving that money in bonuses to some of those essential workers. Like it annoyed me so much when I saw Fred Meyer or Kroger's or whoever was saying, "You're essential workers. We're so proud of you. We're so grateful for you." And they
It's
started
because they were
blasting.
still getting a commercial.
Yeah, because they're still getting a commercial. I was like, "You dirty dogs
Yep.
could have spent millions of dollars on these commercials,
Yep.
and you could have just given that to your essential employees."
Yeah.
Oh, that was so frustrating me. So hypocritical.
Um, flat earthers shouldn't celebrate New Year's.
Yeah, unless they believe the flat disc rotates around the sun, so they still could, right? Am I missing something there?
I don't know if it's the same.
I don't know.
I love the meme that has all the planets and Earth is just flat and it's like,
Yeah,
is this really what your solar system looks like?
yeah, yeah. That was fun.
Oh my gosh. Kelly Swift says, "Hey Curtis."
Hey Kelly, hope life is well. That's our realtor.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she's hooked us up with some homes. She's our home lady.
Did you have one more or no? I thought you did.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay,
That's it.
I have one more for you. It's just to go along with the times. We're living through stuff that kids will cheat about on tests in 30 years.
That's so true. That's a really good thought. That's wild. Think about that.
It is
Also, I
wild.
love that shower thought that we had last week with um, people will history classes getting harder every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just more of it.
More of it, yeah.
I had another one because people are so dumb. But if 5G towers were installed but programmed to still display 4G logo, most people wouldn't know the difference.
That's true. That's true. Until they saw on their phone the little logo that says 5G.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
That's
so
hilarious.
affected by this. It's true.
All
They might
right,
still be.
guys.
Who knows?
That's it. Thanks for joining us on this lovely weekday
Episode
shout out
64
podcast.
in the bag.
4 in the bag.
Maybe
Boop.
we will be back in the studio next
Yeah.
week. How
Hopefully.
about this?
That'd be fun.
Did we get if we get phase 2 tomorrow for sure, we'll do it.
Love it. I love it.
We can celebrate.
Love it. All right, guys. Have a great week. Like us on Facebook, YouTube. Hit the little subscribe button. And we'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
Peace out.
Bye.